Hello, Grade 4 students, and welcome to a new lesson. Today's lesson is from Module 6, Let's Talk. As for the objectives of the lesson, by the end of the lesson, you will be able to ask and answer about the weather in the past. Please open your student's book on page 72, workbook on page 74. Let's start our lesson with learning the new vocabulary. Now, look at the first picture. Can you guess the weather? How was it? As you can see, there are no clouds and the sun is shining. So, we would say, it was sunny. It was sunny. Let's go over the example. Yesterday, we went to the Corniche because it was sunny. Now look at this picture. As you can see, there are clouds. So, how was the weather? It was cloudy. It was cloudy. Read the example with me. It was cloudy yesterday, but it didn't rain. What about this picture? Look at the palm trees. It seems that it was windy. It was windy. Look at the example. We couldn't walk outside because it was windy. Now, in this picture, as we can see, the floor is wet. So, how was the weather? It was raining. It was raining. Look at the example. Yesterday, it was raining heavily, and we had to go back home early. Good job. In the next picture, as you can see, there is snow all over. So, how was the weather? It was snowing. It was snowing. Read the example with me. It was snowing yesterday and the weather was very cold. Now it's time to listen, follow, and repeat.
It was sunny. It was cloudy. It was windy. It was raining. It was snowing.
Please open your workbook on page 74, Activity 1. It's time to do a vocabulary activity. Activity 1. What was the weather like? Look and write. Now read the words with me, the ones in the blue box. Sunny, snowing, windy, raining, cloudy. Look at picture number 1. Look at the picture. It was, can you guess? Snowing. Excellent. Now pause the video and complete. Number 2. It was sunny. Number 3. It was raining. Number 4. It was cloudy. Number 5. It was windy. Good job, grade 4. Now please open your student book on page 72, Activity 2. It's time to match. Activity 2. Look at the map below. Look at pictures 1 to 5 and match the weather with the places. Now this is the map of the United States of America. Let's go over the city one by one and match it with the weather at the bottom. But first, let's go over the weather at the bottom. Number 1. It was windy. 2. It was raining. 3. It was cloudy. 4. It was snowing. 5. It was sunny. Let's go over the first city, Sacramento. How was the weather? There's a sun. So, it's number 5. It was sunny. Good job. Let's move to the next city, Grand Forks. How was the weather? It wasn't only cloudy. So, it's number 4. It was snowing. Excellent. The next city, Chicago. Look at this picture. It shows wind. So, we should match it with number 1. It was windy. Good job. Let's move on. New York City. How was the weather? You would choose 3. It was cloudy. And last, Washington, D.C. You should match it with 2. It was raining. Good job, grade 4. Now it's time to move to activity number 3 on student book page 72. Ask and answer questions with your partner. Now, the first boy will ask the second boy a question about the weather, and to be more specific, about the weather in New York City. Read with me, please. What was the weather like in New York City? Again, what was the weather like in New York City? The other boy would say, it was cloudy. What was the weather like? And he wants to continue asking. What are we asking about here? We are asking about the weather and how was the weather in the past. Let's move on and explain. Asking about the weather conditions in the past. Look at this question. What was the weather like in New York City? How to form this question? We start with what, and then was, and was shows the past. And then we continue with the weather like in, and then we use a question mark. And answering a question about the weather conditions in the past. How do we answer? Look at this sentence in green. It was cloudy. So we say it, we say was, and we mention how was the weather: sunny, windy, cloudy, snowing, raining, and so on. And now it's time to practice with Noor and Ahmed. Now Noor is going to ask Ahmed some questions and Ahmed is going to answer from the map. The first question is about Chicago City. So she would ask, what was the weather like in Chicago? Good job. Can you help Ahmed to answer? Look at the weather in Chicago. He would say, it was windy. Excellent. Let's continue and ask about Washington, D.C. Can you help Noor? She would ask, what was the weather like in Washington, D.C.? Excellent. Look at the weather. Raining. So what would Ahmed answer? It's in the past, so he would say, it was raining. Excellent. Let's have more practice. Sacramento. What would Noor ask? Help her. What was the weather like in Sacramento? Good job. Ahmed would answer, look at the sun. It's shining. It was sunny. Good job. And more practice. Grand Forks. What was the weather like in Grand Forks? Ahmed would answer, it was snowing. Super. Now please open your workbook on page 74, Activity 2. It's time to match. Activity number 2. Look and tick yes or no. Look at the question in the table. Read it with me. What was the weather like in Canada on Saturday? Now, read sentence number 1 with me. It was raining in Victoria. Let's locate Victoria on the map. So, was it raining? No. So we tick no. Good job. Sentence number 2. It was windy in Regina. This is Regina. Was it windy? Yes. So we tick yes. Now pause the video and complete. Sentence number 3. It was snowing in Edmonton. This is Edmonton on the map. Was it snowing? No. So we tick no. Number 4. It was cloudy in Ottawa. Was it cloudy? Yes, it was. So we tick yes. Sentence number 5. It was sunny in Winnipeg. Was it sunny? No. So we tick no. Good job, students. Now please go to Workbook on page 74, Activity 3. It's time to listen.
Workbook. Module 6. Let's talk. 3. Listen and number 1 to 3. Then write.
What was the weather like yesterday?
It was snowing all day. I had fun with my friends in the snow.
What was the weather like this morning?
It was raining. I wore my boots and took an umbrella.
What was the weather like at the weekend?
It was sunny. I went to the park with my family.
Let's check the answers together. Which is number 1? B is number 1. Excellent. And number 2 is A. Super. And C is number 3. Let's complete the sentences. Look at picture A. It was raining. Good job. Picture number B. It was snowing. Excellent. And picture number 3. It was sunny. Super. Thank you. See you next time. Bye.